Hey, and welcome to the Vergecast for the week of June 11th, 2012. I'm Josh Topolsky.
I'm David Pierce.
Yes.
I'm Ross Miller.
Yes, and we are back on time, right? On time.
Are we back on
the
time?
Verge. What's
Hold
going on
I
with
think
this
we are
hair
on
over
time for
here?
the first time.
What's happening
Yep,
with this
it's time.
weird tentacle hair? I got to do something about this.
I don't want to
to
question your
What
knowledge
is
of
this?
tentacles, but I don't think that's tentacle hair.
It's like an octopus tentacle hanging off of my head.
It's a
All right,
tendril of
anyhow,
some sort.
That's exactly
It's
what
a
it is.
tendril.
Tendril.
We're back on the Vergecast, where we discuss the week in technology culture. I, of course, am Josh Topolsky, and Neeli and Paul are not here. But I think, to be honest with you, I don't want to insult Neeli and Paul, but I feel like we've got a superior set of people here.
I mean, you can insult Paul.
I
He
feel,
won't know.
I feel energized, like with a totally new set. Because sometimes it's like Ross, will be here instead of Paul, and somebody will, will be instead of Neeli or whatever. This is like a completely different.
changing
We don't
everything
know
up.
what's going to happen.
Plus, I feel like this picture of me in the post, I think I look better with Neeli's
Yes.
body than Neeli does.
It's
I'm gonna be
and it's a
honest.
disturbing photo if you haven't seen it. And anyhow, but this is gonna be exciting. It's gonna be great. Okay, here's what we're doing. So Neeli's wedding is this weekend. Everybody's traveling. We have a hard stop at 4. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but we're doing an hour. And
So
luckily-
wait. We started on time.
That's right. We're ending.
And we're gonna end
end
on
on time. This is it's a completely anomalous.
It's never gonna happen again.
Completely anomalous hell world.
Do
is
not
how I
expect
describe
it to happen again.
But we have basically 2 topics right now, for the way I see it. 2 big ones: Apple and Microsoft. The end. That's our show. Thanks for watching.
All right.
That's great. You guys really you committed. You committed on that. You went
We
all
did.
the way.
Yeah.
You were ready to take off your headphones. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about, as you can see, Ross, and we'll take some calls towards the end because I want to talk about Microsoft. So just if you're wondering why we're going to talk about Microsoft, they announced today they're having an event in Los Angeles, which we've been invited to. It's a media event. It's apparently a big deal. No one knows what it's for. And they've asked me to fly. I'm actually leaving Neeli's wedding on Sunday. They're like, you should come. And I was like, really? You're doing an event?
They said this is better
They're
than
like,
Neeli's
you
wedding.
got to be there. And so we don't know what it's for. And we're going to do some conspiracy theorizing, as they say in Alabama,
Because that's what we do best.
where they talk about conspiracies a lot. But first, we're going to talk about Apple. Apple had a big week. They announced some stuff. They released some stuff. We have some of their new stuff sitting right there. WWDC on Monday, some big announcements. New version of iOS, didn't see that coming. New version of a new version of OS 10, didn't see that coming. Mountain Lion, which we've actually already previewed in our Mountain Lion preview. Check it out on theverge.com/0678.
It's like it's scripted, just down to an art.
It is. It is down to an art. But they had some, new maps. They're getting rid of Google Maps for iOS. They're putting it into. I assume they're going to have it everywhere where Google Maps was, on any part of their software. Some weird new things. Passbook, which I think is an odd new technology to collect your passes for things.
Honestly, it feels like a precursor to Wallet. Like it doesn't look like normal iOS.
I agree. I
It's-
think it is kind of like this. I think pretty soon it'll be like. I actually think here's where they're going with it. They're like, we have your credit card information, we have your movie, your Starbucks card, your movie card. Put your credit cards in here, other credit cards, maybe, or maybe just do NFC stuff with whatever card you have in our system. And I feel like potentially it's going to be like ID. I think they're going to be like, we're working with governments so you can put your passport and your ID in this.
Well,
Right.
and Apple
which
already
is, by the
has-
way, insane and scary.
But they
Apple already-
have. Well, sorry,
They already have all your credit card information.
They do?
Right through your iTunes account.
they have a credit card.
Uh,
I'm talking about like something where you have all of your cards.
And
Yeah.
they have facial recognition software, so they can say this is definitely you. You
Yes,
linked it up.
I feel like something like that. I feel like they're heading towards like we're going to get rid of the wallet.
right.
And then they'll have a great opportunity to use the word wallet as like the wallet is dead. Wallet is yesterday's news.
Passbook is a terrible name for that, though. That's
Is
the only
it?
thing. Like, what is that? What is
think
it?
about it.
Passport, checkbook.
Yeah, I think you just nailed it.
Yeah, done.
Passport checkbook. That's exactly what it is.
Because I carry my
Passport.
checkbook
This
around
sounds like
all
the
the time
beginning
right
of a
now.
rap. Passport checkbook. I think I'm going to say something else, like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this.
Now you drop the mic.
real-
That's
Now I detach the mic and drop it. But anyhow, the biggest real news that came out of it was, besides the Google Maps thing, which I think is kind of a huge deal, and we should talk about that a little bit.
Right.
They released this new, of course, they updated the Airs and the Pros, but they released this new MacBook Pro with Retina display. It's sitting right here. Ross, you reviewed it, and
I did.
David, you participated in that. And
I stole it from Ross.
Dante
and used it.
participated.
Yeah.
And everybody, because we bought a few. This one, we reviewed, and then everybody in the office was like,
Yeah, they all bought one. Like Dante, I saw him in the elevator like the first day I got back, and he's just carrying 2 in his hands. He's a big man, so it's not hard for him to do.
Yeah, he went. He was like, "Oh, we wanted to run for the office." So he's like, "I'm gonna go get it," and then comes back and he's like, "Oh, I got one for me."
Yeah, why
too.
not?
Yeah,
Why not?
Of course.
So yeah, I played around with it. It's big. Let's talk about it. It's, basically,
first off, did you read the review yet?
I read the review.
Did you notice anything about it?
How sick it was. How totally dope your review was.
Did you notice?
I might have skimmed.
Might have skimmed.
I trust you.
You may not have. David and I did an Easter egg for it.
You did?
We did a little
bit
bit.
What
of
is
Easter
it?
egg.
Do you want to tell me, or do you want to? What is it?
And
You
people
don't tell
noticed
me.
like immediately.
Yeah, people.
Which I was very
people got
proud
it.
of.
Is it that
Except
shot?
you.
Is it that shot with the? Is it in the video?
No,
No, it's not in the
reviews.
video. It's in the layout. It's in the text.
I don't know what it is.
See, we should have used your body as a wonderland, and then he would have gotten
Have I
like
used
that,
or why
It just would've-
Georgia?
Yeah.
It would
Can you
make
tell me?
sense.
Can you tell me what it is?
Here, let's go ahead. Do you want to just quote it? Do you have it up?
Sure. So the
We'll take
various
turns.
pull quotes in this, the first one is "Cause I'm bigger than my body gives me credit for,"
Next, we've got
followed by "I
Are
don't
you-
remember you looking any better."
Are you seriously? Are
followed
these John,
by
Are these
today
free-
I finally overcame trying to fit the world inside a picture frame.
Are these John Mayer quotes?
Every single pull
it's
quote
very
is a
possible.
John Mayer lyric.
Are you
let's see, what am I
joking?
missing
No.
here? No.
Why?
I'm going to be honest.
I don't
I was
understand.
editing this review with Ross. I spent more time looking for John Mayer lyrics than anything
I don't.
else.
Can you explain the reasoning behind this?
Well, first off, I had not slept for a week and a half.
By the
I went
way-
from E3
by
to
the way,
Ross is also
I-
horribly ill and
By the
maybe
way, I
dying.
think this is a wonderful. I think this is wonderful, and very cute.
So we're talking.
Also a little disturbing.
Literally, it was like Dave and I were at the office at night, just completely exhausted, traveling, working, all that. And then I was like, what's a good way of wrapping up the conclusion? And I was like, well, it's kind of like the Retina iPad. Nothing's ready for it. So like, oh, like waiting on the world to change. That John Mayer lyric.
Wow.
To which we challenged each other. Can you make every pull quote a John Mayer lyric?
And it was like a joke, and then it wasn't a joke anymore.
We each came with like 2 or 3. David came with 5 or 6 really good ones.
Pretty solid.
This
We're like, we're
reminds
set.
me. You know, this kind of reminds me of. I'm really pleased to hear about it, and I'm sure Apple's also thrilled that the review is peppered with John Mayer quotes. Who has performed at
That's
Apple
true.
events.
He is a noted Apple fan.
I'm pretty sure I made fun of him at an Apple event. I got a lot of like hate tweets. But John Mayer's. I'm a big fan of John Mayer's work. I don't think that's any. I don't think anybody is surprised by hearing that. You know, Your Body is a Wonderland is one of the most romantic songs. I mean, whenever I make love, that's the song that is on.
And you know,
it's art.
We never did Buzzing Like Neon.
Oh,
true.
you
Could have made
idiots.
that work.
No, but that sounds very negative, like it's making a buzzing noise, and it doesn't make a buzzing noise. But you know, this reminds me of when we were at Engadget, before I was editor in chief. On Friday the 13th, they still continue this tradition to this day, which is very sweet of them. I started on a Friday the 13th. I started sneaking photoshops of Jason Voorhees into posts without telling anybody. Were you there? You weren't there yet.
I wasn't there yet.
You weren't there yet.
I mean, I read it from a
without
distance.
telling anybody. Ryan Block was still the editor in chief at the time, and I didn't tell him. And I thought, well, like nobody will. If somebody notices, you know, I'll explain how hilarious and awesome it is, and they won't have a problem with it. And then finally somebody noticed, and everybody was like, "This is awesome." And so we started it as a tradition. Any Friday the 13th at Engadget, and you'll see if you go back and look, starting in like 2007, maybe late 2007. I don't remember when the first one was. Every Friday the 13th has, if you look at the days, you'll see Jason Voorhees in a variety or things that you were associated with him, like
It's
like blood on
yeah.
a chip. Or just random like
a text message from Camp Crystal Lake. Things
yes,
like that.
yes. We did one. I remember that the first year we did, or the first day we did one that was like we rearranged the letters on a keyboard of a shot of Adele to say Jason,
Right.
instead of like the actual ASDFJKLSM.
There are some very clever photos.
There's some really good ones.
And
There's-
that was a problem for afterwards when you're looking for assets really quickly and you start putting Jasons.
Yeah, and in fact, Autoblog
Tuesday.
we did a post about an electric car, and I put Voorhees in the passenger seat, or it was like a shot of the car, and Jason Voorhees was just kind of sitting there like this in the seat, because you get a lot of shots of him from like the chest up, and it's easy to put that places, and it like was on Autoblog, like the same day because they reblogged it.
I think it was 6 hours before we realized and like kind of let them know.
Yeah, I think it's still there. Actually, I don't think they changed it. They're cool.
Yeah, that's
Anyhow,
awesome.
but so thank you for Easter egging the Easter egg. Is that a thing? Can you say
Yes.
that?
And
Thank you
sure.
for Easter egging the
And thank you
MacBook.
for not looking over it before we published.
Well, I didn't.
You would have lost it.
In all honesty, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, and that was in your hands, and I let you run with it.
That was
and
your
it's a great.
mistake.
And what I read of it is a great review. So you gave it a 9.
Yeah. So
You think this is an excellent laptop?
I think
You freaking
This
disgusting
signals-
fanboy.
this
You
basically
sickening-
signals- I'm not listening to you. I'm just going to
No,
pretend.
no. Keep going. The best is to not listen to me. It's the best thing you can do.
I've done this for years. I made a career
That's
out of
right. That's exactly right.
it. No, I mean, this is basically signaling the end of the regular MacBook Pro. There's no reason to get one.
Death of the Pro.
Death of the Pro.
He had a good run.
It was good.
You know what? You can't stay pro forever. Either back to the farm leagues or
Is that a John Mayer lyric?
retirement.
That
No,
sounded
just
like
keep
one.
going. Just keep going.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so I realize no one at home can hear the echoing
People.
cackle.
I don't know if they're laughing at my. I
banshee-like
don't know if they're laughing at
holler
my
out there.
hilarious sports joke.
I think they must have.
or sports.
Sports.
Go ahead.
All right, yeah. No, so I mean, spec for spec.
By the way, we're at a half an hour. We're stopping and switching to Microsoft. So I just want you guys
I
to know.
don't
that.
believe you.
No, we are. Go
I do
ahead.
not
Go ahead.
believe you.
Do it.
All right.
Do it. Punch it.
Yeah, no, I think it's worth a 9. I think it's one of the best laptops ever made. The screen is absolutely the best one I've ever seen on a laptop, with the apps that run it, of course. We'll get back to that in a second. Spec for spec, it's actually cheaper than the MacBook Pro if you're getting flash storage, if you're getting all that RAM. The catch is you don't get a ROM or DVD drive.
An
Who cares?
optical drive.
An optical drive.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm still not
Can
sleeping.
you remember last time you put a DVD in your computer? Sounds dirty.
No,
When's the last time you slid a DVD into your computer?
that's kind of a personal question, don't you think?
Is it?
Is it?
Did somebody else slide a DVD into your computer?
They were.
I'll just go if you guys want to just.
Is this making you uncomfortable?
Yeah.
To be
Good.
clear,
I'm just gonna drink
to be
my
clear, I consented to let them put the disc in the drive of my laptop.
I'm just gonna apologize to everyone in chat.
By the way, I just thought of something totally unrelated. Totally unrelated to this.
But you have to explain how your brain got there.
It's a long story. I'm not going to bring it up right now, but at the end of this, I have I'm going to introduce a beef into the world of technology
Okay.
between me and somebody else.
Deal.
Get ready.
Anyway.
Okay, we're going to save 2 minutes for that at the end.
Okay, save
Go
it
ahead.
2 minutes. Don't
Yeah.
forget that, Michael.
Yeah.
So when you lose the disk drive, you lose an Ethernet port to a dongle, but instead you get a very thin machine, 0.71 inches. Actually, thanks to the rubber stops, it sits up.
Hold on. I changed my mind. I'm not going to introduce a beef into the world of technology.
You're such a tease.
No, go ahead. Keep
No,
going.
you
Keep
seriously,
going.
like,
I changed
we
my mind.
stopped
You know what? You know what I'm
everything
about?
so you could
know what
think.
I'm about? I'm about good vibes and good friends and good people and having a good time and loving life and living it up.
It's like I don't even know you anymore.
I feel good. I'm feeling good right now.
You
all
are
the
on
John Mayer
drugs.
music
I,
you've been listening to.
I did smoke a ton of weed.
He's
before I got
buzzing
here.
like
Is
neon.
that a problem?
And ecstasy.
I'm buzzing like neon. It is because of the pure MDMA that I snorted right
Well,
before
yeah.
coming in here. Anyhow, go ahead. Talk
Anyway,
about
so it's extremely light. It actually sits a little shorter than the top end of the Air, just because the rubber stops.
Yeah, it is a lot thinner.
It's great. It feels great. It's easy to hold.
It still feels heavy and big compared to the Air, though.
Well, if you're getting a Pro, though,
I mean, I'll say this: the screen is insane. It looks really, really good. I mean,
Right.
it's not like Apple's going to do this and not have the screen be like awesome. It feels a lot bigger. It feels a lot bigger than the Air. If you're using it, I'm using a 13-inch Air, which I have come to like be totally in love with. I mean, I love everything about it. It's light. It's fast. I mean, it's fast enough. It's the netbook of Apple computers.
Right.
It's light. It's small. It's fast. Battery life is outstanding in my experience. I hardly ever worry about like where's the I got to charge. Like I charge it, but it's not something that I'm like stressing out about.
I mean, this is not going to end the whole Pro versus Air debate. That's not what this is.
No,
not
this
about.
is not. This is
a
not.
premium machine.
If you have a 13 or 11-inch Air, this is not. You're not going to up. I mean, unless you need the power and that resolution, you're not going to this unless you just have like a lust for the new thing.
No, this was kind of like built at the beginning as like the Pro in an Air's body.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
it's
this is-
definitely
it's
a
a
step down
It's
in a
supposed to be a
Pro.
replacement for the 17, essentially, right? I mean, that's the idea. They got rid of the 17-inch.
Right. Implicitly, they're like, well, there's no more 17. Well, actually, they never
Right.
even said that. They
No,
just said
they
this
just-
is the new Pro tier.
They're like, here it is. This is for like, if you're a video editor, this is the new laptop you're going to go buy.
But it's not. It's not even the new Pro tier, because if you spec out a standard MacBook Pro, that's actually pound for pound. It's going to be a little more expensive if you want flash.
My impression
This is the replacement.
My guess is
They just won't say
my
that.
guess is that Apple has not been selling a lot of 17-inch laptops.
I can't imagine.
My guess is that they were like, this is a really niche market. We're not selling a bunch of these. We can do something cooler and better that may still, like, I think this will appeal to people who maybe aren't pros. They don't need, like, I'm not doing hardcore photoshopping, but they're like, this is a pretty sexy machine, and I was going to get the 15-inch, and I spend a little bit more money, and I get this thing, and it's super awesome. And I feel like that's kind of a place they're playing with as well.
So I used to know a bunch of graphic designers who had the 17-inch. They hated carrying it around, but they needed something portable, but they needed a little more resolution than the 15-inch. That's the only reason they got it.
Yeah.
I think this is more portable. 17 inches were not portable, but you still get a lot of visuals on this. Like,
and especially there's the space. There's like the more space display setting.
Yeah.
And at that point, you basically have like at least that much actual.
When you do
screen
19,
real
you do
estate.
17 never went up to 1920.
I don't think so. I think
No,
no.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember because I've never had one because I think they're ridiculously.
At that point, you get an iMac.
I think they're the most monstrous machine in the history of any 17-inch laptop. Can just get out of my face. Like, you just don't step to me if you're a 17-inch laptop, because I will cut you.
There's always this weird gray area, like between device classes, where like it makes no sense. Like between laptop and desktop, if you're at 17 inches,
but like I don't.
You have to jump.
Yeah, it
over.
used to be like the desktop.
I don't know. There may be
like.
there may be the person out there who needs that 17-inch laptop.
Well, have you seen Kimber's laptop? One of our news writers, Kimber Streams. Her laptop is the biggest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Can I just say
I'm not sure what it is. It's a gaming laptop, but it solidly weighs
at
least 150
No,
pounds.
Laura has been using a new gaming laptop, the Envy, to check out
it's big too.
something. It's big. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. You just get out of my face.
And the thing is, they're so heavy too.
I'll cut that. They're heavy. They're big. They're ugly. 17-inch laptops should not exist.
Right.
I would want to stamp them out. I'm going to make it my life's mission.
You did. You made Apple discontinue.
I said that. I called up Tim Cook and I said, listen, Cookie, which is my nickname.
To which he said, I'm listening.
I said, Cookie, listen, I know you guys are selling a few of these here and there, but it's embarrassing. No reason you should be making a laptop of this size. And he said, you know what? So you know what, man? Hey.
This is all part of his campaign project, man, Tim Cookie Monster.
You're right. You got that's a great point. I'm going to double down on getting rid of the 17-inch. God. Then he doubled down. He doubled the F down on it. That's F is short for a swear word. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to figure it out on your own.
I'm lost.
It's nasty. It's a nasty swear word. Anyhow, but but you really like it as a straight up 15-inch laptop. You think this thing is?
Yeah,
it's a 9.
It's a 9. No,
it's great to have a score.
It is so wonderful.
It's helpful to know. It's helpful to know exactly what you think about it.
I have found that people love scores.
People love scores. They love scores.
They're so respectful.
Good thing you didn't give that a 7.
Quantitative analysis.
Good thing you didn't give that a 7. Boy, would you be in trouble.
I'd be dead.
Can you imagine?
No, didn't you? So you left. You had a meeting like right as the review went up, and then you came back and you sat down, and like 2 seconds later, we're like, "Oh, I already have an email." Somebody being like, "You should change your score."
Yeah, the top email was, "Please reconsider your score."
Why? What was wrong with your score?
It was too high.
Yeah.
So.
Well, but for a fanboy, what's too high? I'm surprised you didn't give it a 10. You know?
Well, what? Okay, here, we can talk review philosophy.
We can't win. Let's do it.
You're perfect for this. What is a 10? Is it perfect?
A 10? Yeah, a 10 is a product that is. We've never given a 10 to anything.
No, I don't think we ever will.
I don't know. I think we could.
I mean,
I believe in my. Here's what 10 is about. 10 is I believe in my heart there's a product that's a 10. I think a 10 can exist. I just haven't seen a 10.
How many 10s have we seen in our lifetime?
Of anything. What exists where you go, this is perfect? Let's think of a thing that exists that you think this is perfect and it doesn't need to change at all.
Seltzer.
Seltzer is a 10. Seltzer is a 10. And, well, I will say this. Canned seltzer is like a 9.
Yeah,
okay.
Fair.
Plastic bottles, they're like an 8.
Okay,
yeah.
so
but
the concept of seltzer, not seltzer delivery system.
The concept is a 10, no question.
Okay.
But the seltzer, the delivered straight up real glass bottle, compressed.
Yes.
That's a 10. That is a 10. And by the way,
metaphysical perfection.
By the way, in Brooklyn, you can still get that delivered, and I do. Have I talked about this before? I probably have.
I love this. Yeah. I love this guy.
Have you had it? You've had it.
I dog sat for you one time when you and Laura on vacation.
That's right.
And part of it was playing with a dog all
You
weekend.
went to town on that.
Second, your seltzer guy came by.
Ronnie.
Had fresh bottles of seltzer. And just went to town on those. Just drank
so
much seltzer.
When you have a seltzer guy, like you made it.
You're best seltzer ever.
Is that 30? Are we at 30? What's going on? No, we're good.
20. We're 20.
No, let me tell you something. Ronnie's our guy. He's like the guy in Brooklyn. Like he literally is like one dude out there.
Wasn't like a New York Times article about him?
There was a New York Times article about him. In fact, he was injured recently. He slipped and like got messed up, broke his leg. This was a while ago, a couple years ago, and he even like came like with like the leg brace and a neck brace and was like with the things of seltzer. He's awesome. I just want to shout out.
Awesome.
I want to say Ronnie is the man. But So yeah, he delivers them every 2 weeks. And when we first got them, I feel like I've told this story before, but maybe I just told it to someone on the team. When we first got them, we were like, Laura and I were like, oh my God, real seltzer. This is crazy. Let's do it. And we got them and we, shot some seltzer into a glass and it was kind of flat. And we're like, what? Like, this is so lame and disappointing. So what we didn't know is you have to get them cold for them to fizz up.
Yeah.
Oh.
And once you get them cold, oh man.
10 out of 10.
That is the shit. It really is. A cold glass of seltzer from the real bottle. It is painful. It is joyful. It is everything. It is heaven and hell.
It's like the carbonated, like your eyes water a little bit.
It's like
It hurts so good. It's like the John Mellencamp song. Is that John Cougar
different
Mellencamp?
John. Yeah, different John.
Similar to Mayer, but way better in every way. Mellencamp.
I'm thinking about this.
Mellencamp
Hold
for
on.
the win. Cougar for the win.
Cougars. No,
Team
Cougar
Mellencamp.
for the win.
Team Mellencamp.
So let's reel this back.
Yes, do.
Seltzer was a 10. We're talking about 10 reviews.
Oh, 10.
First.
What are things that have you used it? Do you think there's a device or a computer or anything you've ever used that was
So
a 10?
a couple people in chat said Super Nintendo, and I could actually get behind that.
I can't.
Super Nintendo?
When it first, that like
I
blew
don't know
my
about
mind
that.
apart.
Genesis, maybe.
No.
Come on, dude. Altered Beast. When you first played Altered Beast at home on a 16-bit system, you don't even know. When they were like Rise from Your Grave and it sounded just like the arcade. I don't think it's a 10. For me, TurboGrafx 16 would be a 10. Turbo Duo,
Okay.
actually, and like some of, because they actually did stuff to the PC Engine in Japan that they didn't do here. Whatever. I'll tell you. You know what's a perfect 10?
What?
A 10 to me? Dracula X for the PC Engine. If you've ever played it.
I've never played it.
Wait,
It's
wait,
Castlevania.
no.
It's Castlevania X.
We're not talking about gadgets anymore. We're talking about
Now we're talking
software.
about software. Right. Okay, we're talking about gadgets. Let me
Yeah.
think.
Is there a perfect gadget?
A 10 that's existed ever.
In our lifetime? Sure.
Oh, I think so.
Okay.
You can't say like the telegraph.
Well, I was going to say,
cheating.
yeah, like the telephone.
I'm a big fan of the phonograph.
I mean, how granular can you get? Like, that's the question. Because,
You
like,
tell me. You still have said nothing, so what am I going to knock down?
PC Engine, I said.
Oh.
I mean, TurboGrafx.
All right.
I
That's
don't know.
something.
I don't know. But was it really a 10? If I reviewed it now,
I mean, to me, a 10 is utopic, which is one part perfect and
Yeah.
2 parts imaginary.
I don't think it has to be imaginary. There are things that are a 10 in life.
The only thing.
Bo Derek, for instance. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Nobody knows who Bo Derek is.
I know Bo
You
Derek
do?
is.
You down with 10? Okay, cool. What are people saying? What else are they saying?
So
in
I'm
chat?
seeing the pad phone because obviously
That's stupid.
CRT televisions,
That's also stupid.
the pen, which seems kind of like cheating.
But the pen, the idea of a pen is a 10.
the
idea.
original
Wait,
Game
wait.
Boy, which isn't bad.
Chocolate milk, peanut butter and jelly,
Chocolate. milk is legit.
pornography, not at all a 10. I don't know what he's watching.
I think peanut butter and jelly is a 10.
I agree with that. I'm in
Crunchy
on
or
that.
creamy peanut butter.
Creamy for
All
me.
right, nope, it's a 9 at best.
No, I disagree.
It's a 9 at best.
I'll tell you what's a 10. When it's done right, ranch dressing.
Yes.
That's a freaking.
10.
That's a freaking.
That's an
10.
11.
What's that face for? John, you disagree? Oh, you really? Well, you've never had the ranch I've had. You don't know what I know. Okay? I'm kind of a ranch buff. Is that cool? Is that a cool thing to admit to people
Ranch
on
connoisseur?
a national,
I think it's fine.
on a national and international level?
I don't think blue cheese fanboys are going to rise up in disgust for your ranch fanaticism.
All right, you know what? Let's take a couple of calls. Get the number up on the screen. That's the wrong thing. Get the number up on the screen,
That
or I
looks
will
good.
come in there and cut you.
So while we're getting the number up, last expense, other announcements. Well, wait, we talked about everything, so.
I mean, we
Yeah.
can talk about
Wait,
all the
I-
okay,
I'm-
888-418-4074.
I wanna know
hear-
something real
I
quick
want to hear
before
what
we
you
take
think
a
is a
call.
10. I want to hear what your 10 is.
I have a quick question before
Go.
we take a call.
Go.
Why is Maps such a big deal?
Okay, so Maps is a big deal because, well, it's a big deal to Apple because they want to get Google out of their face, right?
Right.
And they want to burn Google, and this is a big burn to Google. Now, I actually think Maps is one of the biggest gambles that Apple has made ever in iOS because Maps are really important. I mean, I use Maps all the time. Laura uses Maps for walking directions, for street view. She uses it for driving directions, for transit stuff all the time. They are biting off a big, big thing. Like when you look, I mean, if you look at, what Yelp gives you versus what Google gives you on a map, if you look at the information you can get from Yelp, because that's what they're using right now, and they have some data from TomTom.
Right.
The roads will be fine. I'm not worried about their like mapping of the roads. I'm worried about the stuff. Google does amazing stuff on my Galaxy Nexus when I need transit directions. I mean, it gives me like train times It gives me like detailed transit directions with train times, and they are correct. You know, every business in my neighborhood is identified on there. There's a phone number. There's hours. It's like an incredible. They've compiled so much data. They've got Zagat ratings, which I find really super useful for restaurants.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
There's so much. I mean, I'll take like a Zagat rating over Yelp personally.
Yeah.
Right.
So like they really have to. This is a big challenge. I mean, between now and the fall, Apple has a huge. They're really rolling the dice, because if this isn't a super satisfying experience for their users, I think people will be like, you had a great Maps experience, and now I'm like, can't find the things I used to find.
Because they have to make sure it's at feature parity or better.
Yeah.
By that time.
Yeah. The 3D stuff is cool, like beautiful, but its utility is, it is literally like to show off. There's no utility to a 3D flyover. Like it looks cool,
right?
It looks, and it looks cool based on what they showed. It looks
it's the same
amazing.
utility as like Google Earth, which is to be like, oh my god, this is amazing,
right?
That's what they're doing.
All right, so I think it's a big deal, because I think that first off, it's a big burn to Google, because it's on a lot of devices. Believe me, they see a lot of activity on their maps from that, and it's plugged into all the every API that everybody who's using the Maps API plugs into Google on the phone for the most part, in an app. So. I think it's a big deal, and it's also a big gamble for Apple, and they really need to like make this thing tight when it's out there. It cannot be Siri beta. It needs to be like full on. And I have no doubt Apple is aware of they're aware of the score, but it's a big gamble, I think. Call, you're on the line. What's your name? What's a 10?
Oh, hi. I have a couple of things that are 10s. First, I would have to say the Asus Tai Chi that I just saw at
Hold on. You think a thing you've never used and just saw in photos is a 10? How could you possibly make that determination? There's no way you can. That's crazy. That's like me saying I saw a phone and it's a 10.
Courier's a 10.
Courier's a 10.
Done.
I think I'm not going to allow that.
Okay.
What else do you have? What else?
All right. Are these just products then?
Anything, whatever, anything in your life. What's a 10?
Cats and ties. Cat gifts.
What?
Anything with cats.
Anything
Cats.
with
Cat?
Cats?
Cats.
I mean, I like cats.
I can't hear. You're very hard to understand.
Like Nyan?
What kind of? I'm very.
I just got a new phone today, so
what is it?
Suck.
What kind of phone? We'll take it off speaker.
What is the phone?
It's a flip phone, because my old phone died, so it's a replacement.
So what do you say?
Asus Tai Chi.
What is the thing you just said was a 10?
Cat gifts, like gifts of cats.
Cat gifts.
Cat
gifts
gifts.
might be a 10.
Gifts of
I'm in on that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're good.
Just like as a whole.
Yeah. What else?
gifts.
Anything else? You got one more.
I don't know. My plastic surgeon, maybe.
I guess that is probably true if you have had plastic surgery and you're happy with it.
Yeah.
So I'll allow that.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
That I will allow. Oh, look who's here. It's Cray Sean. Thanks for showing up. Hey, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
Call, you're on the air. What's your name? What's a 10?
I'd say that my 10 is the KFC Double Down.
Wow. I've had a double down, by the way.
I've never had one. Is
I
it
got to admit, it was pretty tasty. And then I started throwing up, violently throwing up everywhere after I ate it. No, it's a very tasty sandwich if you're a meat eater. I'll never have a double down again, unfortunately. Or fortunately for the animal that would have been in it. What else? You got anything else besides the double down?
Yeah, the original Macintosh.
You think the original, the Mac, like the...
Yeah, like the 1984 Mac.
That's interesting. I think that's possible. I think that's allowable. I think that could be a 10. I bet back then I would have found something really wrong with it, though, if I had been reviewing it.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in 1992, so I have never used one, but...
Oh, you...
Wait.
Again, I can't allow that. I can't allow that.
This is personal 10.
Personal 10.
You had to have used it.
Personal 10. You don't have any... What else you got?
Fine.
Double down. The double down you've
Windows
used.
95. How about Windows 95?
That seems like a real stretch.
Reviewed at time of launch or reviewed at legacy time?
What do you mean? Like, I don't know how you say 95 is a 10.
Okay, 98.
No, forget it. We can't just play this game, okay? If you don't have a real 10 in your heart. You got anything else? Is that it?
Okay, Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color. Interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah,
I could get into that.
Pokemon
And it
Blue
would
Red,
colorize
that
old
changed
games.
my life.
I would say original Game Boy as well could be fall into the 10 category. Though it would have been nice to have a backlight.
Well, there was all those people who would like hack a backlight.
Well, and they also made those
like,
those adapters with the magnifying glass. Okay, all right, caller. Thank you so much for giving us your 10. Really appreciate it.
Is there anyone else who?
There's no one else on the line. It's fine. Nobody else has any 10s.
See, this is why we've never.
That's good. We're at the half-hour mark. Are we not?
Oh, let's
3:30 on the mark. Perfect.
Look at that.
Here we go. Microsoft. So today we got an invitation from Microsoft, and do you think we're gonna be able to do a whole half an hour on our conspiracy theories? Well, we'll take calls on it.
Don't you have a beef or
they
something?
They did a whole. No, I'm not doing the beef. They had an announcement today. They said we're doing a big event. It's in Los Angeles. They didn't say what it is for. My indications I've heard, the indications I've received from sources familiar with the matter is that this is a big event. It's a meaningful event.
They're making you leave Nilai's wedding.
But it's on a Sunday, so they're making.
No, it's on a Monday.
It's on a Monday. Okay.
Yes, you're really messed up on this date. I'm leaving Nilai's. So Nilai's wedding is this weekend. He'll no longer refer to Becky as his fiance after this weekend.
Yes, he will. But
He will,
forget.
but he'll be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm leaving Sunday from his wedding in Chicago to LA to go to this thing. And it's a very last minute. I mean, it's like.
You got your invite today, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's extremely last minute. So what is it? What is it? So here's the things we were talking about before we went on the air. I'm going to throw out some points that are being speculated upon. Okay, I'm just going to. So some people said, like, it'll be Office on iPad. Okay. I don't get that. First off, you're not going to drag me across the freaking United States of America for Office on iPad. You're not going to drag anybody. Why would you do that? I mean, it's cool, but is it worth a cross-country flight for journalists? I feel like you wouldn't ask people to do that. Microsoft. I'm speaking to you, Microsoft, as an entity. Because corporations are citizens, people, humans. They're humans.
You're talking to Steve Ballmer.
What do you think? Office on iPad. Does that sound even remotely?
I mean, I think it's possible. I think it's coming, but I don't think it'll be this.
Why
event.
LA?
It won't
for
be this
Office
event.
on iPad.
It won't be this.
What do you think? Is it possible?
I think it's possible, just because I'm only saying that because I want you to get into a fist fight with PR.
I will.
So angry.
Let me just tell you this right now, and I think. By the way, I don't think I'm the only journalist who will feel this way. If Microsoft is asking us to come to LA to announce Office on iPad, I will punch someone in the face at Microsoft, a person who works in PR. I will punch them. I will go to jail.
Stamped.
I think I'll have a lot of backup too. Personally, I think I'll get a lot of people to help me. They'll hold the person.
I promise you, if you go to jail and tweet about it, I will retweet.
And it's going to be.
That's the extent of my help.
It's going to be a female PR person. It's terrible.
And then you will run.
No, I won't punch anybody, but I will be really upset.
No, I think Office on iPad is actually a huge deal, but it's a weird thing to have a whole big event
I don't think it's that huge of a deal at the end of the. I mean, it's a big deal, but is it cross-country flight?
No.
Big deal?
No.
Also, like, it really preempts like the excitement over Windows 8. I feel like you're going to want to wait till Windows 8 is out.
It comes at a very odd time because, like you're saying, it's right before Windows 8, and it's right after E3.
Yeah.
Where if they want to make any Xbox-related announcement, they would.
But it's not Xbox related.
No.
Right. But they've got these
so
two
what else?
pillars.
So what
of
else
everything.
could there be?
Windows Phone? And we went through this process.
We already
backstage,
did. We already
but,
talked
yeah.
Courier. We're going to get to Courier, okay? Krayshawn. Windows Phone. Well, I don't think this is Windows Phone. Why LA?
Why last minute?
Isn't there another event going on? A Microsoft event of some type centered around Windows Phone? Is there? Is there not? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know either. But I
well,
feel
we
like
we just
feel
put
like
on the
this-
site some like leaked Apollo screenshots
Oh, that's right,
recently,
that's right.
and like they look nice, but they don't look like this
it
world-changing
could be Windows
difference.
Phone. It could be Windows Phone. Something in my heart tells me that it's not.
Yeah, because even then, like, they wouldn't plan it like 4 days in advance or send invite.
No, that's the thing. That's what's so weird about it. So that's what's really weird about it. So, okay, they're doing it in LA. What's in LA? I think it could be an entertainment related thing, right? Maybe I'm spitballing. This is just me riffing. Microsoft buying a studio.
Like a movie studio.
Like a movie studio to do
So what does that get Microsoft though?
great access to original content for their new entertainment service, aka Xbox.
It could be part of them entering the music thing. I mean, it could be Xbox
Could be
music
music.
related.
It could be music. Yeah, I mean, they could be like something with a label or labels.
But again,
I
it's
feel
a
like music
huge
is. I feel like
announcement for
music
last
is not.
minute.
I feel like music is not the place where there's like a lot of friction right now.
No.
I feel like it's got to be something that's like you didn't see this come in, and this is a big deal.
So like Microsoft buys HBO,
Or-
and they're like, hey, we
yeah,
have
yeah.
all this content.
Which
you
I
can
don't
only
think they
get on your
could do,
Xbox
but-
now.
Right.
But
Or-
like something like that.
Or cable stuff, like TV
Mm.
stuff, like we're doing a deal with Comcast, or we're doing a deal with Time Warner, or we're doing somehow you can get cable over your Xbox, or I'm by the way spitballing again, Xbox as a set-top box. Instead of buying your like Comcast,
But-
DVR, you get an Xbox and it has like Comcast somehow.
But even that feels like they would have some time to plan. I almost feel like, and I
Well,
think,
yeah, but I mean, unless it's been so under wraps, that's such a big secret.
but they would still send an invite out more than 5 days in advance. 4 days.
No, maybe not. Maybe they just want to cut down on any attempt at speculation. Maybe they don't want people out there like sniffing around. They're like, it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Everybody's gone. And, everybody's gone on Friday to Sunday, and then Monday's the event. And who's gonna have time to like make? Nobody's gonna be in an office. You can't make phone calls. You can't sniff around.
True.
Okay, that's one theory. I'm throwing it out there.
And it's kind of weirdly late in the day, isn't it?
It's like I think it's at 3:30 or something.
Which like East Coast time is late. Like people.
I mean,
have
I
gone
have a
home by
red
then.
eye. I have a red eye going back that night, and I'm concerned that I will not be able to make it. So, LA people, I'm coming at you again. Get ready. Get ready.
Don't get your bike stolen.
My bike. I won't be getting a bike in LA. Only a fool would get a bike in LA. Paul won't hear me call him a fool for years. For a year.
Well, so this makes your mergers and acquisitions theory.
Oh, that's the
make a
other
lot
thing.
more sense.
Mergers. That's the other thing. Mergers and acquisitions.
And
So the other thing is like Microsoft's buying Twitter,
Right.
or
And that-
Microsoft's buying Facebook.
And that would make sense. They would.
They're not doing that. But but like
the merger
Facebook
would
is
make
buying
sense, though.
Microsoft.
The buying of a big company, because
Yeah.
you have to do SEC filing. You just announce intent
Right.
to purchase. Both sides are agreement.
Right.
And they could have closed the deal yesterday or something.
or not even
Send it
close
to
the
us.
deal, just done like the deal memo
Well,
essentially.
enough that both sides agree to it.
Right.
And then
That's
the next
right.
thing is the government thing. Once you file in the government, everyone's going to know.
What's in LA that's desirable? I mean, we don't know if it necessarily is in LA. It might just be the right place to do it. Like, for instance, let's just say it was Twitter. Okay, let's just say, for the sake of the argument, Microsoft somehow struck a deal with Twitter and they're going to buy them. Okay, I just want you to roll with this.
Somebody just wrote a post called Microsoft bought Twitter. It says
Somebody's
Josh
writing a
did it.
post right now.
They put a question mark on the end. It's okay.
Right.
right.
That's right.
Sorry.
Why LA would be your first question. Why not do it in San Francisco at Twitter headquarters or something? Well, that's conspicuous, first off. Second, celebrities, Ashton, whoever, get Lady Gaga up on stage, get Katy Perry. Okay, I'm riffing again. This may not be. I said we were going to do conspiracy theories.
I'm actually going to see on Lady Gaga's tour
what's
schedule.
chat saying? What is the
Curiosity.
chat saying? I want to know how they're...
Bing. Big Bing event.
What big event? No, maybe if Bing is merging, maybe Twitter is merged into Bing, yeah. Or some other, Yammer. There were these rumors that they're going to buy These rumors they're going to buy Yammer. I don't think Yammer is big enough to hold an event like this. Certainly not big enough that they're going to say to like journalists, fly across the country for this Yammer.
Yammer's
announcement.
not like a
that's like a
splashy
press
purchase.
That's a press release.
Like it actually kind of makes sense for Microsoft to buy
Yeah.
Yammer because their enterprise thing is so
Courier,
huge, but
Courier.
would be amazing.
I mean, that would be insane, right? If they were like, we're doing the Courier in stores.
As soon as the Courier becomes official, it's going to become the most disappointing product.
Maybe,
Yes.
unless they really cooked up something amazing.
I mean, and the thing
What
is,
would it
like,
be? It would be-
Courier with
it would be
Windows 8
Metro.
actually makes tons of sense.
It would be Metro, the Metro interface, but they'd have like a Courier. There it is. They'd have like a Courier set of
yeah.
apps, you think?
It's like, this is our Nexus Windows RT device.
I have to say, man. But why LA?
Oh, and to come back to your point, Lady Gaga is going to be in Australia at that moment, so she will not be
Great.
part
What
of the
about
event.
Katy Perry?
I'll figure that out.
Where's Ashley going to be? He's filming. He's currently still filming the Steve Jobs biopic.
Yeah, I think he's going to be around.
iJobs. They keep coming up with horrible names for that movie. I think the latest one is lowercase I, all uppercase Jobs.
Who's
It should
playing
just be
Woz
called
again?
I. The movie should just be called I.
This dude whose name I can't think of, who's actually a pretty good actor and is a pretty good choice for Woz.
I like
All
that.
right, I think I'm running low on ideas.
Josh
here.
Gad.
Well, wait. The other one is
What is that?
Book of Mormon guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
great.
he's good.
The
He's
other
great.
possibility was a hardware maker like Nokia or RIM
Oh,
or somebody like
those
that.
are the other ones. So Nokia, they're buying Nokia. Like
You call it hardware maker. I call it patent portfolio.
Oh,
yeah,
fair.
well, both, but both.
Yeah.
Or, and this is the one that I think is actually somewhat could be the deal, which would be insane, is RIM. Can you imagine?
It would be insane.
Can you imagine that? I mean, that would be nuts.
I mean, a Windows phone with a QWERTY keyboard that is as good as theirs.
Yeah.
IT in.
And they'd have
like,
to scrap.
still
They'd
the
have to
business
scrap
phone.
BlackBerry 10. But I mean, I think that what we've learned is like doesn't matter if they scrap it or
Well,
not.
and
They're
all
already
we
in it.
got, so being at BlackBerry World, like all we got was this impression that they just kept saying like, oh, we're just going to roll it out over time. And it just seemed like all they were saying was like, we're going to keep making it unless somebody tells us to stop making it. And like, that could be this.
The question is this. The question is Nokia had no impact in terms of like, suddenly we're selling a ton of Windows Phone handsets. You know, I don't think there's any impact there.
Right.
Would RIM, first off, the patent portfolio is obviously very valuable. I think there are a lot of valuable assets at RIM. Their security is clearly, you know, very valuable.
They still have something of a foothold with business, which Microsoft is afraid of losing.
Mm-hmm.
And they had so much with Windows
Well,
Mobile.
and Microsoft then gets to make this super compelling case with Windows 8 where they say, hey, your phone and your tablet and your computer all run our thing and you can manage them all from the same place and it all makes sense.
We got a very exciting situation here. What time is it?
341.
Neeli wants to call in on Skype. Let's get him up on the
right.
big screen. Is he going to be video? Yeah. Is he going to be wearing his traditional Indian garb that he'll be wearing at his wedding?
Hopefully he tweeted it.
Which I've
Yeah,
seen. Oh, he
it's really
tweeted
good.
it?
It looks good.
Is it the photo of the gold one?
No, like he's just like sitting down in the
Are we gonna-
pants and
I can't see that.
Do we get to watch Becky like beating him for
he
doing this
he
with
sent
us?
me.
while we're setting up, Katy Perry is not on tour until September.
Yeah. Who's that?
I can hear you, whoever that was.
That's Brandon.
Brendan.
Wow,
yeah.
Neeli looks
He
amazing.
looks good. Look how happy he looks. I shouldn't show your screen. Who knows what's on here? A ton of nasty porn on here, Krishna. Really? Cows. I didn't see that.
Would
Didn't
you
see
give that
coming.
porn a 10 out of 10? We were asking earlier.
Oh my God. Oh, it's so heavy. So heavy. Can we get him on or what?
We're talking to him.
By the way, hard stop at 4. So whatever Neeli has to say better be not take any longer than 20 minutes.
Well, is there anything else you want to say about Microsoft?
No, I don't know what the event's about, and we're going to be there covering it live. We're going to be full force, brand new live blogging tool. By the way, I don't know if you saw, we have a new live blogging tool called Syllabus, which we used for the WWDC live blog.
I have to say,
Which was our second highest traffic day ever. The highest was the iPad event, but it was can I say a shit ton of traffic? Hello, very bad connection.
oh man,
Very bad, weird connection.
we got slideshow mode.
Anyhow,
going on.
but I just want to say really quickly, our developers, are the Vox product team, the guys who make Chorus, our platform, and who have now added onto Chorus with a live blogging tool. Incredible work from them. They
Yeah, I
turned
mean,
it around. Like
super fast.
after the iPad event, we were like, we're not using Scribble Live. Like we have to get away from Scribble Live. It just went down on us too many times, and that sounds bad. You know what I mean? Forget. You can edit that, right? Oh, Neeli like that. Good. Maybe we should switch to only audio with you, Neeli, because your video is, frankly, disturbingly
yeah. So can we
bad.
just put that picture from Neeli's Twitter up and then just use the audio?
Neeli, can you hear us?
Oh, God. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're very.
Oh my God,
Whoa,
we've
what's
gone,
happening? What?
That was awesome.
Neeli, what kind of internet are you on?
Time Warner Cable, Wisconsin.
It'd be better if you
Really
were on.
great.
I think it'd be better if you called in on a phone. Honestly, you sound like you sound like total garbage.
I like to imagine that he's on like an
Can we get
AOL
him on?
dial-up.
Can we get him on the phone?
Paul's on line 3 if you want to.
Okay,
Try it.
great. This is insane. Paul is on line 3. Neeli, call back in and we'll get you on the other line. Okay, Paul Miller, welcome to the Vergecast. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Paul, what do you think of Microsoft buying Yammer?
Yammer?
Yeah, they
You
bought
don't know.
Yammer.
You don't know anything about this, do you? You don't know anything about what's going on right now, do you? Are you in the office? No, you're not in the office, are you? You in Chicago?
Chicago. I'm staying with Chris Ziegler.
Okay. Do you know what's going on? Did you hear about this Microsoft thing?
I heard Microsoft bought Yammer.
Yeah, they
No,
bought Yammer.
they didn't buy Yammer. Shut up.
He's not gonna know.
Don't lie. No, but they're holding a mysterious, huge event on Monday. I have to go back out to LA to cover this event.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're like, it's a major event, and it's invite.
Windows 9.
It's invite only. What do you think it's going to be? Do you have any theories?
It'd be Windows Phone 8.
You think that's what it's going to be?
That's so boring.
Well,
though.
what else would be big? What else would be a big deal?
Why
There's
LA?
nothing that they can do.
How do I just press it and he'll be on? Okay, Neeli, you're on now too. I mean, why Windows 8 in LA though?
No, Windows Phone 8. Did I say Windows 8?
That's what I mean. Windows Phone 8. Okay, fine. Why LA?
I don't know.
Cool theory. Great.
But is Paul on the phone too?
Yeah, Paul's
Yes.
on the phone as well.
Wow. Paul, are you on a landline? I'm on a landline.
You're both in
Pretty
Chicago too, which is weird. You could literally be.
No,
in
I'm
this-
not. I'm not in Chicago. I'm in Racine, Wisconsin. I'm at my parents' house.
When are you going to
Which
Chicago?
is why the internet is so terrible here. It's like a connectivity-free zone.
This sounds great. Can you hear him, Paul?
Yeah, I can hear him great.
This is insane. This is insane. All right. Okay, we have 15 minutes. Nilay, do you want to talk about your conspiracy theories about Microsoft?
What's going on with them in LA with this crazy event?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I really think that they're going to do something really content heavy. I'm sure that you guys already talked about this.
Yeah.
My guess is that they're going to do something like really wild and like content heavy with studios. They might do IPTV on the Xbox. They already do it in Europe.
That's what I said.
There's no reason they couldn't start to do it in the States a little bit.
That's what I said.
But they need to announce like major.
But I also said
major
every other
partnerships.
idea too. No, but so what about this? Microsoft buying RIM.
No way. Why would they announce that in LA? And why do they need to buy RIM?
Why not?
Patents.
Shits and giggles.
I mean, yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, they might as well buy Nokia too. They might as well just collect them all.
Pat-
They buy both.
Maybe they can buy Nokia, RIM, and Palm all at the same
Palm.
time.
They don't want Palm. They don't need Palm. So that's what. So we went through all the different possibilities. I think it could be something crazy like they're buying Twitter.
Right. Oh,
You
so,
know,
so
there's a Nokia theater in right next to
That's
Staples
true.
Center. That's where Nintendo
That's an
had its
interesting
press
point.
conference.
I don't think they're doing
So
anything.
Microsoft could do a Windows Phone 8 announcement with Nokia at the Nokia theater.
Or they could buy RIM
at the Nokia Theater. Now that's a big FU.
and then like burn it down at the end.
I don't think. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you about the event right now.
They could rename it to the Microsoft Theater. Just
That would
for
be
now.
awesome.
I don't think it's doesn't say where it is.
Oh, is Hulu in LA? Someone just said that.
Hulu.
Hulu.
That doesn't
Hulu
seem like.
would be very interesting.
But they already have Hulu on the platform.
But Hulu's been looking for a buyer, I thought.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
been out there for a while.
Hulu's
now.
interesting. Is Hulu
They're
based?
in Los Angeles.
They are.
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
Commenter, you're brilliant. You may be wrong, but
Where
you're
else
brilliant.
does Microsoft do big announcements? They do them in New York sometimes, and then they do them at trade shows.
Which they're backing
So
away from,
why
too.
not LA? Why not LA? Just like nobody's gonna go up to Seattle
Right.
for like a town hall meeting in Seattle.
Well, I think people might go up to Seattle.
But where's the event? I'm sorry. I'm
we don't.
way
I
out
don't
of
know. It
it.
doesn't. I don't think it says on the invitation. I don't know yet.
Okay.
So that's
I mean,
cool.
like-
I love going to Hollywood and not knowing where I'm
Yeah,
going.
it's on the streets of Hollywood.
I'm gonna
You're
be
just
at.
gonna
I'll
walk
be at
around.
Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, just waiting for someone to tell me where to go. I'll be at
What
the
if it's
outside.
a new-
Go ahead.
What if it's a new version of Skype?
That would be amazing.
Maybe they're gonna add a new thing to Skype called Skype Time, which is
Skype Time?
interacts with Facebook to
Oh,
do.
I love the advertising thing on Skype, by the way. Where
What
it's
is
gonna,
it?
it's gonna show ads while you're having Skype calls, like one-on-ones.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
I hope
Will it listen to you and you'll be like, boy, we really need to get some, I don't know. We need to-
Ovaltine.
Yeah, gotta get some Ovaltine. They're like, an
How you feeling, man?
Ovaltine-
I'm
a
so
cup of
hungry.
Ovaltine comes up on the screen. Somebody like a person superimposed like drinking Ovaltine.
I just don't think they're going to be
in the
doing
Skype
enough.
window.
I think they need to actually add audio ads.
Can we
to it.
superimpose a person drinking Ovaltine onto the Vergecast right now? Is that possible? Do we have the technology to do that? Well, at any
That's
rate,
a maybe.
Nilay, I'm now leaving. Me and Dieter are leaving your wedding to go to Microsoft's event.
You're
So-
leaving on Sunday.
Yeah, yes, we're leaving on Sunday. I mean, we're leaving from Chicago though, and we're going to.
Well, I promise I'll have the bartenders at the reception cut you off way early.
Well, my flight's at like 3:30, so I can get completely hammered and be drunk.
Just don't
and,
stop.
And be
Just go straight to the
Yeah,
airport.
no,
That's
I mean
right.
that was my strategy at every wedding I went to, like in my 20s, was to just party through to my flight at like 7 a.m.
That's the worst. I did that one time. I went to England and I just really got drunk and had a flight at like 9 in the morning back to America. It was without a doubt the worst, most heinous flight I've ever been on. I mean, being like hungover on a transcontinental flight is a real kids. Don't make the mistake that I made. If you're in England and you're getting plastered, just move your flight. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
That's some really specific
Wow. What?
I have to say.
This is freaking incredible. I wish you guys could see what's happening right now.
I think they can.
Can you leave that up? Just leave that up.
What are you looking?
Well, Paul can't see it.
We have an Ovaltine.
There's an
ad right next to
Ovaltine
Josh.
ad
She
overlaid.
looks very happy.
She's toasting Josh's head with the Ovaltine.
How am I gonna? I don't mind if I do. Grab. This is tough. I'll tell you. I can't. I don't know. All right.
Can I say something a little off topic?
Yeah. Oh, we'd love for you to. Like we haven't been off topic at all on this podcast.
We got 10 minutes. That's
I was at Wicker Park, and there's a Reckless Records on Milwaukee. I just wanted to ask Neela if that has anything to do with his Twitter handle.
No, it doesn't. But I was a frequent and avid patron of Reckless Records.
Reckless Records. Can we get an overlay of an ad for them on top of the podcast of the Vergecast?
On top of the Ovaltine.
By the way, Krayshawn, did we have a sponsor this week?
I emailed you about it.
Oh, cool. This is great. Perfect. This is perfect.
We were supposed to say, yeah.
That's okay.
We'll say
We'll say it extra hard at the end. So all right.
I have to go back to my wedding, and I'm going to drop off.
No, that's
So
fine. That's fine.
I'll see most of you.
We'll see you in a couple days.
Tomorrow.
Yes, Neeli, we'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow evening, we're ready to party
Josh,
with you.
I'm putting you in some serious Indian clothes.
No, listen. I want to say something. Hold on. I want to say something about the Indian clothes.
Yeah.
I liked what I saw in that photo you sent. I want to do something that's a little bit, kind of classy, monochromatic, if possible. Like,
Oh, I got you.
you got something like. But by the way, I'm 6'4". You know that, right?
Indian clothes only come in one size, which is gigantic and embarrassing.
I don't want to be like weird short sleeves and it's like you can see all my ankles and everything. Like I don't want to be the odd man out. So if you don't have traditional,
what I like about this conversation is that you believe that at my wedding everyone will be looking at you.
No, I know, but there's gonna be I don't think, but there's gonna be photos and stuff, and it'll be like
There's
everybody's.
a bride there.
I'm just saying there's gonna be photos and everybody will be wearing.
Mostly of the bride and groom.
Everybody will be wearing their, will look good in their properly sized Indian clothing. Then they'll be like, oh, look, like Hodor from Game of Thrones is wearing an Indian getup. What's going on with that?
No, we will. Trust me. I feel very comfortable that
Okay.
literally they only come in one size, which is gigantic.
Great.
You'll be fine.
But
Great.
if you want to walk down the aisle carrying Neeli, muttering Hodor, Hodor, Tobolsky.
Yeah,
Literally just arm and carry me down.
Okay. How we doing on time? All right.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thanks, Neil. Talk to you later. I don't know which line he's on. I think he's on that line. Paul, you still with us?
Yeah.
What's
Okay,
up?
cool. All right. Do you want to take some calls? People with conspiracy theories about Microsoft. Paul, you gonna hang on for this or what? What do you want to do?
Sure.
Okay. Conspiracy theories about Microsoft. Call in 888-418-4074. I want to hear what you, the public, thinks will happen at Microsoft's next event.
I also want to know if
We have 7 minutes, I'm told.
I want to know if Paul has a 10 gadget.
Yeah, Paul, do you have a gadget that you think is a 10 that was a 10? Like you would give it a 10?
You mean like in history that there was a 10?
Yeah,
your whole
anything,
life.
any gadget or any video game system, something you use, a computer where you're like, that's a 10. I give it a 10.
I'll have to think about that.
All right, we're going to take a call. Call, you're on the air. What do you think is going to happen? What's your name and what do you think is going to happen at this crazy Microsoft event?
Hi, my name is Dave, and I don't think Microsoft's going to buy RIM. I don't think that's going to happen. It's a bit out there, but I do think that they could do something in the hardware space. I think maybe like a Nexus tablet for Microsoft. Like they're going to produce.
They could unveil
Yeah.
a Nexus.
Yeah.
Or a
RC
Zune
device.
tablet.
A Zune? No, they're not going to call it a Zune
Yeah,
tablet.
yeah.
That's interesting though. But they're kind of like, yeah. But to show people like a reference, I mean, I guess it would be an actual product like a Kin tablet. Maybe they'll revive the Kin brand.
How far along? I mean, when did we find out about Kin? Like in terms of invite to.
A month maybe.
Yeah, we had a little more of a heads up.
Yeah, I think we did.
Interesting theory though.
That's an interesting theory. Anything else, or is that it? Is that your only theory?
Well, no, I don't really have anything else. But I was actually at a BlackBerry developer event today, and
Oh, you were.
they seem pretty keen on developing BB10.
How's
So,
10? How's 10
I
seem?
think
How does 10 seem to you?
it seems pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's it's coming along. There's a lot of enterprise apps being developed for it. Not what I kind of expected. I mean, I work in the consumer space for sort of large-scale applications. So not much of that going on.
Do you think
enterprise app seems?
Do you think they have an opportunity to get back in the game?
For enterprise, they'll probably be back to number one. I think.
Really?
Not in the consumer space.
Over Apple. You don't think Apple's going to keep pushing there?
No. I think that these developers want to develop for the corporate environment, and BlackBerry have a good foothold there, and they're going to leverage everything they've got in the corporate space. And I think that developers want to push there, and they don't want to develop for iOS as much as they do for BB10.
Right.
And that's where the development's going.
Right. Okay. Cool. Thanks for the conspiracy theory. I think it's very interesting, and thanks for calling in.
So this tablet thing is super interesting, actually,
Yeah.
because they have Windows RT to show off, they have Smart Glass to show off, they have all this new media stuff, even the stuff that they
we have
announced at
5 minutes.
E3.
Any other conspiracy theories?
One other thing someone else pointed out before we take the
Those
call.
are on.
Adobe also holds a ton of events
4074
in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Adobe could be a possibility.
Yeah,
if we're on the buyout
what?
idea.
But what?
Buy
I mean, this is big.
Buying Adobe would be big.
I hope they intended to make it seem as hyped up as it is right now. Because I'm like really curious, and I'm a little upset.
Heavy breath caller, you're on the line.
That's Paul Miller.
Oh, hi.
All right, hold on. Let me get another caller. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and what is your Microsoft conspiracy theory?
My name is Josh, and
great name. Great.
What do you think about buying a game studio?
Oh, that's interesting.
That's very interesting.
A game studio. Maybe who would they be buying? Who's in LA? Nobody's in LA.
Good question.
I mean, but they just had E3.
Yeah.
If you're going to buy a game studio and you're going to announce it in LA, whoa. What was that? What has happened?
They want to dominate the news cycle by themselves, right?
Can you mute your sound if I'm coming through on your side? That was perfectly in sync. Okay. Why not announce it at E3?
Well, maybe they brokered the deal at E3.
That seems insane.
I mean, to announce it this quickly? Yes, it does, but...
Hey, everybody. We know you were just here, but we brokered a deal with Ubisoft while we were here, and we thought we wanted to get you back. It just seems crazy to me.
Let's see.
But that's interesting, a game studio.
Well, what if they did want to let it get lost in the rest of the E3 news?
Yeah, I wouldn't get lost, though.
Blizzard console?
No, right.
Oh,
but, I mean, if you were Microsoft and you went up on stage at your event, and you were like, here's all our stuff, and and by the way...
We bought EA.
We bought EA.
Okay, hold on.
Believe me, it would be the news of the event.
Yeah. Creighton wants to interrupt with something we talked about before the show. But He wants us to say Halo movie.
Oh, Halo movie. We already said Halo movie. An event across the country for the Halo movie for journalists, tech journalists.
Didn't they learn that the hard way?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right, caller. Thank you for the theory. It's very interesting. A game studio is definitely a possibility, but what I wonder is why they wouldn't have announced at E3. But that's a cool theory. Thank you for calling in.
Somebody just mentioned Steam in chat, which is
that would
pretty
be
interesting.
Oh my God.
That would be Seattle though.
Would it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But Blizzard is in Irvine, which is close to Los Angeles. They've never worked on this game schedule.
Oh, maybe they're just announcing Diablo 3 for Xbox.
That would be a huge deal.
No, but really a big enough deal to fly across the country?
The first Blizzard console game, legitimate Blizzard console game.
I think that's. I don't think it's a big enough deal.
Right. I mean, we haven't heard any games guys getting it.
Right. We haven't heard games.
So
Is Polygon? Is Polygon flying out there?
I don't think.
Not that I know of.
I haven't heard single games that are.
I don't think it's games. I don't think it's games related. I think it's too close to E3 to be games related. And on that note, we have to wrap up because we have like 2 minutes left, and I want to end on time. This is the first ever started on time, ended on time.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, right? We started right at 3 and we're ending right at 4. Isn't that incredible? That's what
I go out and I gallop out around the country, and then you start ending podcasts sometime.
I think it might be because you're not here.
All right, final hold record. What do you think it is? One prediction. Let's hold you to it.
I got one go.
Yeah, one go.
I think they're going to announce a major partnership to deliver if I had to put all my change in one pocket or whatever, how we say it, I think a major partnership to deliver TV through the Xbox.
Okay.
Would be my guess. It's going to be like, instead of your cable box, you can do this now it's like everything on the Xbox.
David?
I'm going with our caller and saying it's a WinRT tablet.
I'm going to go ahead and say they're buying Hulu. That's my guess.
They're buying what?
Hulu.
So similar to we might be on the same track there.
It may be both.
Okay, cool. That is the Vergecast. Paul, do you want to give your yeah. Paul?
Windows 8, but I have to give a perfect 10 gadget, and it's either PowerPoint or the iPhone.
I can't hear what you're saying. You're breaking up. You mean Windows Phone 8, right?
Just funny. And as far as the perfect 10 gadget, for me, it'd probably be my PowerBook G3 Pismo.
Yeah. The PowerBook, the Pismo was awesome. I had one as well. Okay. On that note, that's the Vergecast for this week. If you want to get in touch with, if you want to get in touch with us, you can email us at vergecast@theverge.com. You can leave a comment in the post when it goes up, or you can find us on Twitter. I'm Joshua Topolsky. David is Pierce David. Ross is Oh No Roscoe, no E on the end. Paul's Future Paul, but it doesn't matter. Nilay is Reckless. And the Verge is at Verge, of course. I also want to say that our Vergecast this week was sponsored by Internet Explorer 9, which is a fitting sponsorship considering that we're talking about Microsoft here.
But none of us predicted Internet Explorer.
And by the way, Internet Explorer, they've been running ads on the site, which I think look very nice. They're very nice looking ads. I also like the song at the beginning of their pre-roll. They're like, it's like dubstep. It's like IE9 dubstep. I love
IE9 dubstep.
IE9 dubstep. Anyhow, that's Vergecast. Thank you guys for listening and watching, and we'll be back next week. And until then, rock and roll.
You stay classy, Internet.
Paul.